What's up guys, it's Denodon here, and today I am back in Kinetic Void where I am showing off the update 15.1, which came out a while ago now actually, but I haven't had a chance to make a video until now. But this update included many additional changes. Perhaps the biggest one is the fact that this is now running off of Unity 5. So they're basically running it off of a new version of the engine. So it's supposed to be running a lot smoother, and I have to say I've noticed it running a lot smoother as well. So that is something to look at. But anyway, I'm just going to demonstrate some of the changes with this ship here. It's just some frigate I put together without really much care or thought. And yeah, so one of the biggest changes they've made is if we go to the subsystem window, you'll see we've got an entirely different thing now. You've got these options at the top here that let you determine what you need. So obviously you need to put a reactor in. The recharger is a new thing. Basically now the way it seems to be working is that your ship generates additional power and the recharger will help recharge, as its name implies, those elements, which you can then use for these active systems down here. So you can set perks basically for your ship, like at the moment I've got hull repair and shield repair on. But you've got all these others, so you've got grapplers, you've got ones that will turn off hostile abilities, you've got ones that will boost damage, rate of fire. There's this one that slows time apparently, don't know how that works but sounds interesting. You've got warp disruptors, so for anybody who plays EVE Online they'll be very familiar with what those are supposed to be doing. And you've got propulsion overloaders, which sound interesting. And then the other big change they made is they've got this controller now, which determines exactly how many abilities you can actually have, as you can see on that window there. And they've also changed how weapons have operated, so they actually do use power now, which you can see. So we select a weapon, you see now you've got this option where you can pick the mount. The camera on the model will move to where that mount is, so you can see it moving in the background there. And then you can then set what weapons you want from this window. Now down here, now you've got the engines. It will do the same. It'll show you each engine is, it'll tell you what its size is, and then you can set the propulsion on this bit here and then any additional things you want. And finally, you've got the usual hull systems where you can put the rest in. Now, this ship has a hangar, which I haven't featured in any previous videos, but has been in older versions of Kinetic Void, and that is this bit here. So if we go to hangars, you'll see I've got a hangar bay, which I can bring up, and then you can see I've got a launch platform that gives a bonus to launch time on it. And then you've got the usual armor repairs, and then the drone control module, which you have to have, which is there. And then you've got, you know, the drones themselves. So I've just got some kinetic drone attack drones attached to it. You can also have mining ones, and I believe salvage ones as well. So I'm just going to modify that slightly. You know, this bit's all the same. They haven't really changed ship modeling, but that's the hangar. So, yep, that's the ship. I've got missiles on here, I believe. I think they were missiles. They are, yeah, they're kinetic missiles that are guided. So let's just bring this ship into space and I'll show you some of the other things that have been changed. Alright, so here we are in space by a mining station. And first off, you'll see these green orbs that are now indicating exactly where docking bays are, which is very nice to have, because now you can actually see, you know, where you need to fly if you want to dock with a station. Very handy. And you can see they've made some changes to the backgrounds, like this one's got some kind of nebula field all around it. Lots of asteroids and things, so there's lots of indicators coming up. Quite a few ships. So yeah, we've got all that. So let's fly over to where these other ships are over here actually, because there's a jump point just over there. Now you can see we've got the active abilities down here on the bottom left. So they will tell you what you've got to do to activate them. So hull repair and that, you've got to click on them when they're needed. Here you can see the power meter next to the shields and then the actual hull. Whoops, there's the kinetic field coming up. I think I put the wrong ones there, but that doesn't matter, you know what I mean. And over here we've got news, which is actually more dynamic now, as you can see. And that was the other main thing they updated, was if I go to the map, well first actually I'll show you the weapon manager. They made it so you can easily change these by pressing Y now in the actual combat screen, as you can see down here. If it's red, it is on hostile, like offensive, and if it is green, it is in the whole for both, really, so defensive predominantly. Also, I forgot to point out, this station's got 2 docking ports, so stations can have more than one entrance now, which is also nice. But let's bring up the map. I forgot which one's the map. I could just press M, but I'm trying to remember it. There we go. So you can see the map's got a bit more information on it now. I've also generated a bigger world this time. I've set it to 25 systems. So a bit more, and a lot more factions to what I normally do. So you can go to here and you can set, you know, who's hostile to me. Well, I'm neutral at the moment, so everybody's friendly to me. But if I attack someone, that'll happen. Or it'll change. So find me will automatically snap. And you can see there's a bit more dynamic the map now. It actually shows you a little bit more about what's actually there and the links between systems that you need to use, which I think is quite nice. But let's get out of that. And yeah, so the other things have made changes too is if I go into the actual weapons aiming mode, which I'm sure you're familiar with by now, I can do the usual, shoot my missiles. Oh, bit loud there. You see they're actually guided, so they're going where I'm pointing them because I'm not actually targeting anyone. But if I hit caps lock, this now goes into an alternate mode where it will rotate the camera rather than the ship itself, which is interesting. So let's get out of that. And then let's see, so we've got the station here. You can see this ship isn't exactly fast because I put a lot of armor on it. So let's hit T to turn off the kinetic field and speed ourselves up a bit. But yeah, so that's some of the changes that they've made. I think they're pretty good, and I am still liking the look of this game. It's got that nice style and aesthetic to it. Oh, and actually that's one of the biggest things I forgot to mention at the start, is there is now tutorials in the game. So no longer do you have to rely on YouTubers like myself to actually give you information on how to play the game, but the game now has proper tutorials telling you how to do absolutely everything, which is nice. So yeah, other than that, that's about it really for this update. So I'm Denodon, this is Kinetic Void, safe landings.